Happy Crafters, here we go again with another project. Okay, this is the project that I am doing version number 2 of a tutorial, because as you can see, the spine is about 1 inch, but this is way bigger. So it's got a little bit of alligator mouth. It's measuring 1 1/4 right now. So in this, I said that I revamped. So the tutorial that we are doing are the redone instructions. Okay, so this will be version number 2 of a tutorial. This is part of what we're changing right here. You see this spine? Okay, it covers everything. What it's going to do in the redone version is it's going to go like this. Okay, so it'll be slightly different, but still the same. So that's what it'll look like. Okay, so there'll be more flips and flaps that you see in here rather than just the one. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So let's get started. Whoops. Okay, let's get started. And this one is white, the other one's gonna be black because that's my favorite. So I'm gonna keep this close. Okay, so, and we're also gonna do it in 2 sections. We're gonna do the insert because I'm going to do, it's going to take me a little time, but we're also going to have an insert tutorial kind of thing. Okay, so as you can see with your piece A, you've got on the dinted side, you've only got it on one side, the tape, but on the bumpy side, you've got it on both. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your 2 dinted sides together like so. Okay. Line them up, and then you're going to peel the tape and stick that down. Okay, like so. Give it a burnish. Always burnish. Okay, so then you're going to take and you're going to just taper. Whoopsie, that went flying. Just taper. Doesn't have to be much. Okay, just like so. And now on this one, I did use 110 cardstock here, but you don't have to. Okay, and then you're gonna fold and burnish on all your score lines. Okay, fold and burnish on all your score lines. You'll have fun and you'll hate me with this 1/8 of an inch gusset because they are a pain in the derriere. But you gotta do what you gotta do. This one doesn't even have to be folded and burnished, just as long as you've got it folded, because it's just gonna be a flap, so it's not as big a deal. Okay, just like that. But we are going to burnish these ones because then we are going to put, I've started using Tyvek. You don't have to use Tyvek. You can use whatever packing tape. If you have Tyvek, whatever you have. I know I have many crafty followers in numerous countries, so whatever you have in your country that is something that doesn't tear and will help extend the life of your project. Okay, so there you have your project. See, our spine is much bigger. Okay, so now we're going to put our Tyvek on there. Okay, and this is all I do. I'm going to line up. I've got better tape. I got to trim that edge. Okay, so you want to line that up. See, I got to cut some off there. You're going to line it up and just peel off a couple strips here, or one to start with. Okay, and then I'm going to peel some more, and we'll slowly, actually I'll just peel it all off, and we'll just slowly put it down. because you want to get it into the center crease there. This last one's going to be the death of me. Whoops. Okay, and you just slowly work it in. Okay, and then we're going to flip this over. Flip that center piece over, just like so. Okay, and then you're going to give it a burnish, like that. Okay, fold that back over and do the same thing on the other side. Burnish. Now I got to trim off. Get rid of my garbage here. Trim off that little bit of hangover. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on it. You just want to cut. If you have to cut 2 or 3 times, as you can see, you'll do that just so that it doesn't, you don't cut into your paper. Okay. Okay, so there's your base. You'll have to fold and burnish your score lines again because the Tyvek will tighten that up a bit. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, whoopsie. I usually just fold that in. Okay, so we can set that aside. Okay, bring in your B and C. Okay, so you're gonna fold and burnish your score lines. And as you can see, and I have in my printed or my downloadable instructions, you always want to squirrel. You always want to have your tape on the dinted side. Okay? Tape always on the dinted side. So you're going to line those up and dig it down. Okay. Burnish. Now this is your pocket page, your center pocket page. So you're going to want to put, it doesn't really much matter whether you have B or C. It's just when I'm doing the tutorial, it will OMG. Wow, isn't that interesting? My 110 cardstock is slightly smaller than the rest of my, hopefully that's not gonna make a big, oh dear, be a big issue. Uh-oh. It's stuck ahead. Yeah, well. It's okay. It seems to be okay. So you'll stick that down. Now it never fails. All of my projects, something goes amok. But you know, I always thought it was me. I don't think it's me. I think it's my paper. But I haven't found a good quality paper that I could get to try any different paper. So I am stuck with slightly messed up projects. Okay, so now you have, whoopsie, piece D. which I have to figure out. I think piece D and piece E go together. Okay, so you're going to take piece E and piece D. Okay, you're going to fold on your score lines, and again, I apologize for the 1/8 inch score line. Okay, and then you just start to pinch it, and it'll go, and then you just set it down. Give it the burnish. Okay, just like so. Okay, same thing to the other one. Okay, just give that a pinch. Okay, pinch and fold that over and give it a burnish. Okay, so that's D, and then E, there's no, okay, burnish, there's no gusset on E. Okay, so we'll put D and E together. So E, okay, you have your, for the first one, the first side, you're gonna have your flap, okay, on your left-hand side. Okay, so then you're gonna take your D piece and you're gonna attach that right on top to the cut edge on the opposite side of where that flap is. Okay, line that up as best as you can. If you don't know me, I am a little bit of a perfectionist. Oh dear, after all of that, I forgot to taper. Got it all lined up. So taper both pieces right now. And that was another thing I forgot to say at the beginning of the video. Always watch my videos all the way through. Because if by chance I've messed something up, I will have it'll still go together the same, but I'll have the measurements fixed in the cutting guide. Okay, so you're gonna line that up again as best as you can. And then you can peel your tape backing. If you can not have trouble with it, that would be great. I always have trouble peeling my backing. Always, never fails. Fingernail or no fingernail, I always have trouble. Open it up and give it a burnish. Okay, do the other one. Actually, we'll put this one in. Okay, so you've got, if you want to label, if you want to label and put front and back, you can. You don't have to, but you can. This way it's just easier. Okay, so we're going to do the front. Okay, so you're going to open that up, and on the left-hand side, okay, I want to taper these ones too. Doesn't have to be very much, just a little bit. It just covers up that little bit of construction when you put your pretty paper on there. Okay, so you're gonna you can open it up, okay, and you're gonna place this one. See how that just nicely fits in there? You're gonna place this not right on top of that score line. You wanna be just like a 16th of an inch away, like a tiny, tiny little bit. Okay. Once you get that, you can peel your tape. Once you're happy. And as I tell everybody, when you use double-sided tape, Every crafter's best friend is what's called undo. Great stuff. Can't be without it. You want to make sure to have the yellow label because the green label doesn't work worth a poo. Okay, so now we're going to bring in E. So this, okay, E. So you're going to flip that so that your half inch flap there is on the right side because it is going to be opposite or mirrored of the front. Okay, so with your gusset on the right hand side or the top, whatever, you're going to put D, your other gusseted piece, on top, again on the cut line. Measure or line that up, sorry, not measure. Line that up nicely. Just like so. And then once you're happy with it and it's straight, you can peel your tape. And I got to get this done today because I was messaged and I have a HappiCrafter working on this project for my birthday challenge. So I got to get her done today. There's no messing around. Okay, so you're going to line this one up. Open that up. And that is going to go in the back. Okay, right close to that flap. Okay, not right on top, about a 1/16 of an inch away. Once you're happy, peel and stick and burnish. Okay, open that up. Whoopsie. Give it a burnish. Okay, so that's how it's going to be. That's where, so this may flat fall in there. Okay, and it'll be like that. So there'll be more flips and flaps on the inside. It'll look more like an album. Okay, so now you've got your two F pieces. Okay, you're gonna miter that corner right through that intersecting score line, through that X. Okay, just like so. Okay, do the same on both pieces, right through that X. Then we're going to fold, burnish, and inspect. Okay, so you fold that over, give it a burnish. Whoopsie. Okay, fold over your other. And this is too where you can add your decorative whatever you want to do. I use my envelope punch board, which I have sitting here all the time. But just to be on the safe side, I'm just going to do a dry fit and make sure I don't have to trim first. Okay, so you're going to inspect and make sure you got lots of room there so there's nothing perfect. Okay, so now where this is going to go is right here on top of this flap. Okay, just like this. I am good on that one. Let's just check this one. Because if they're both good, they're both good. Okay, we can put that fun little cut in there. Okay, so you're gonna line, if you haven't folded it yet, okay, I did. So I'm gonna line up my scored edge with 1.5. Gives me more space in here. Okay, so 1.5. Okay, flip it and line it up the same at 1.5. Okay, and then you're going to cut out this section. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm gonna. Okay, same thing with the other one. Line that up with the 1/2 inch. Flip it. And line that up with the 1/2 inch again. Okay, set that aside. Get rid of your garbage. I use a cutting surface. If you guys have the right trimmer, you can put it in your trimmer and trim this off, but I like to use my knife. My knife with a metal edge. Okay, just like that. Okay, there's one. Okay. So how many of you have watched up to this point? Leave me a comment. How long have you been crafting? Or I should say specifically, how long have you been memory book making? I am going on this coming 2023 will be my 3rd year doing memory books. I started when COVID first hit. Okay, so this is going to go, your first one is going to go on that front flap. Okay, I'm going to just open the book up so that I can see it better. And you're going to line up cut edge to cut edge. If you have a little bit of a gap down at the gusset, that's what you want to see. My paper is very crooked. Okay, so then you're going to make sure, oh, and let's do this. You're going to take off the bottom piece first. Okay. So then you can open it up. Okay, give it a burnish. But you can cheat and just take whatever no-name, Scotch, whatever, tape. Oh, that didn't work so good. And you just put your tape in there over top of that. So when you slide in your inserts or photo mats, that they don't bump, like they don't catch on that. They'll just slide right in. Okay, so once you've done that, you can close it up and stick down your sides. Okay. And when you have a narrower pocket like this, you want to kind of push out from the center so it doesn't bulge. Like, see how it's bulging like that? When you have a narrow pocket, they tend to do that. Okay, so you do the same thing to the to the back. Okay, open that up. Okay, cut edge to cut edge. I hope you can see it. Got so much junk in my way. These are other things too that I make and you can find in my Etsy shop. I just love making them. I don't have very many left. I haven't spent a lot of time beading. Okay, cut edge to cut edge. And again, there will be a little bit of a space down towards the gusset there. Okay, fold or peel your backing off of the bottom or inside or however you want to call that. You know where I'm talking about. Okay, give it a burnish. Take your tape. Okay, and stick that down. And it doesn't necessarily have to go right to the edge. Just that little bit there, that will be enough to stop your insert from catching. Okay, peel your tape on the sides, burnish, and then remember you fold that out, push it out from the center. Peel your backing, stick her down. Okay, so there's the back. Lots of flips and flaps happening already. Okay. Okay, now your next pieces here are your G pieces, and these are going to be your L pockets. Okay, I'm just going to look here and see how much I cut where I measure. Okay, so at the top, from your cut edge, you're going to make a tick mark. I put my pencil away. From 2 inches. Okay, tick mark at 2 inches. Okay, that's at the top. Okay, so I'm working on the right hand, I don't know, however you want to call it, tape on the right side and bottom rather than the left side. Okay, so from the taped edge, you're going to go over 2 inches and up 2.5. Okay, so on right from the cut edge there, you're going to measure, make a tick mark at 2.5. Okay, you can draw a line. If you're going to cut that off manually, if you're not going to, you can just throw that in your trimmer and line up those tick marks. Okay, so what did I say? From the cut edge to 2 inches. Okay, and up from the cut edge to 2.5 inches. Okay, but I mean, if you want less or more, you can. This is just gives you an angle pocket so that it looks kind of funky cool. Whoops, funky cool. Okay, just like that. So I will cut mine off manually because my trimmer is far too big to bring in here on camera. And then I'd have to stand and my head gets in the way. And that's just a pain in the derriere. So I'll just, whoops, cut manually. Okay, just like that. And then if you have any extra, like if you can see any of your pencil mark, just kind of erase that off. It won't be perfect if you cut this way, but it'll be good enough. Like so. And I'm just going to erase my little tick marks here. And then you're going to, with that corner, you're going to miter right through that intersecting score line again. Okay, so I flip it over just so I can see it better. You don't have to. Okay, so you're going to cut right through this intersecting score line here. Cut that off. Okay, do the same thing on the other one. Then you can fold and burnish. Okay. Is this your first one of my 2-day folio projects that you're making? I'm not sure if I've lost my mojo with making these because I kept saying I don't know how many more I got in me, blah, blah, blah. Because I am working on a new, I shouldn't say new, it's not necessarily new. Okay, so you're going to open, okay, you've got your D and E here. Open that right up, okay, so you're on your back flap, okay, and you're going to take with the cut on the left-hand side. And the reason I do it this way is so that whatever is in here, it still has this here to hold it in. That's how I do it. Okay, so you're going to take off the bottom piece first. Once you've got that lined up, you're going to line it up close to, mine is a little crooked, that's my paper. Okay, so you're going to line it up close to about 1/8, 1/16 of an inch away from that center fold, or that center score line. Whoops, wrong piece. Don't mind me, I'm struggling here. Okay, just like so, you're going to do the same thing. Open that up, burnish, and put some tape on there. Okay. See, like I say, it doesn't have to go right from edge to edge. That will be enough to hold that in. Okay, so then you can stick down the other side. Let me know if you are taking part in my birthday challenge. Okay, so you're going to flip it over and do the same thing. Okay, on the back side, you're going to open both of those flaps so that you're right on that back. Okay, same thing. You're going to line that up on the bottom, about 1/8 of an inch away. Okay, and then you're going to peel the bottom part off first. Okay. Stick that down, burnish and put on some tape. I guess you could have tapered that in, but it's not a big deal because it's underneath. It's hidden anyways. Okay, put your tape on there and try to not have any creases in it if you can. It's not a big deal, just that's one more thing for your paper to catch on. And this way you can save, doing it like that, you don't have to put pattern paper necessarily all the way down to the bottom. You can have it so that it just covers under here. Okay, so there's that pocket. Okay. Close it up, get it out of the way. Now this is the one, this pocket here is your back acetate part page. So what I'm going to do on this one, what I want is, I want more than just a finger hole here. Make sure I'm doing this right. Huh. We may have done this wrong, but anyway, it's okay. We're going to do it this way anyways. So we are going to, I think I did it at 1 inch. Yes. Okay, so you're going to, at 1.5, you're going to draw lines giving you on your crap gusset where your score lines are, you need a 1.5 inch space. At the top where there is no score line, you only need a 1 inch. And we are not going to cut it right out. We are going to make it a flip, because if I'm not mistaken, this should measure, well, it's just over 4. So you'll be able to use this as a photo mat. Okay, so then now on the top where there's no score line, you're only going to measure at 1. Okay. But then we are also going to put this, no, we will just use one little tick mark as soon as I find. Okay, so this measures 7 1/8, so we need to find the center point. This is part of the reason I love this ruler. center point is 3, just over 3.5. So we're just gonna make a little tick mark at the center so we can slide that in. So if you do not have a center point ruler, you're gonna make a tick mark in 3.5. Yeah, 3.5. Okay, and then you're gonna just try and slide center that in. So I am just over 3.5 here, like just a hair over. Let's see if we're kind of centered here. Yeah, we are so. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave this. We're just gonna score at the top, but we're gonna cut these 3 lines. So I'm going to bring in, and I apologize if my head gets in the way. This is my Stampin' Up! Trimmer that I use to do this. So you're gonna line that up at 1.5 on the opposite side. Okay. And because we have the lines, we don't necessarily have to measure because we have that pencil mark as a guideline. So we can just cut. Sorry about my head. Okay. Get that all lined up. Oh, I went a little too far on that side, but oh well. Okay, be careful not to go too far. Okay, so now on this one, okay, we are going to line that up, but instead of cut, don't cut. Get that out of the way. Bring in your score. Okay, you're just gonna score. Okay, just like that. Okay, and that makes everything on the right side. Proper side. Oh. Okay, so you're gonna flip that back over. Okay. Oh, that's what I forgot to tell you. We are making our lines on the dinted side. So then you're gonna bring in the big piece of acetate that you have, that I have already up. And it's just gonna go, you're gonna center that inside those score lines. Okay, just like so. And then you can peel. Now I've only used 1/4 inch tape here because if you wanted to, you could tuck things into pain in the derriere. You could tuck things. Once I get it together here, I'll show you. Basically, you're using it as tuck spots for small little decorations or stickers, or I mean, you can even tuck in another photo mat, smaller one, like if you do 2x2s or something. See, open this and you can tuck. See how you can tuck here? Just like that. So then you can just kind of fold this up. So that becomes a photo mat. Okay, so then we are going to get rid of that. Miter through that X, just like so. Same as any other pocket. Okay, fold and burnish. And we wait to do this till we have the acetate in there for stability. The acetate gives you lots of structural stability in there. Okay, now this is going to go on the back. Oh, where is it? Okay. Okay, so when you open that up, it's going to go right here. Okay, on D. So if you want, you can open D. Okay. And you're going to put that on the top, and you're going to have a bit of a space because you're going to line that up here, okay, on your cut edge. So you will have a space here. Okay, so we'll do the same thing. We're going to take off the bottom so that we can open it up. Put some tape. Oopsie, that might be a bit long. Okay, put your tape in here and then burnish it down. The best part I like about this is that color change, such a satisfying color change there in the tape. Okay, now you can lay that down and peel off the rest of the pocket. Oh, I forgot that I ran out of tape. That's what I needed to put in there. Okay, peel off the other side. Every bloody time. Never fails. Okay. Okay, so there. Okay, so the next one, I believe we've got J, I, and J. That is going to be your pocket on the front. Okay, you could do the same thing. You could add some acetate down here if you wanted to. I'm not going to. Okay, so this is how you know these two go together. Okay, so I'm going to round my flap here. I'm going to round the corners of my J. Okay, taper. Okay, I, you're going to miter right through that X. Fold, burnish, and inspect. The other reason that I'm doing, I will leave the other video up, but the other reason that I'm doing is I got a message, and I vaguely remember it happening, but my audio cuts out halfway through the video, but I hadn't heard anything from any crafters until just not that long ago. Okay, so you're going to bring back in your folio. Let's get rid of our garbage. Bring back in your folio and open to the front. Okay, so this is going to go on the front D pocket. So the same thing, if you want to open it up, okay, your I is going to go right here on the top. Oh, I may have to change some measurements in here because it cuts out just too much. So I'm going to fight with it a little bit. And this is how I kind of change how it's folded. So I'm just going to, because I know it's out just by a little bit, so I'm going to line that up, take my tool here, I'm going to give it a new score line. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna, it's not much of a score line. So in the cutting guide, I will fix this. Okay. You won't have to do this. It will fit. So you're going to line that up to the cut edge. And it should fit perfectly without any problems. So you're going to line it up with the cut edge, and it should be just like the other side, with having a little space over here. Okay, a little space on their gusset. Okay, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to peel the tape off that bottom piece. I ended up moving it. Okay, open that up. Put your tape on there. Give it a burnish. Put your tape on there. So whoever is doing this video, or whoever is making this project and following my video, tell me where in the world you're from. Where do you live? I live in Saskatchewan, Canada, and winter just hit. We got a snowstorm yesterday and ended up with probably a good 2 inches, 3 inches of snow out there. So I'm not leaving my house. Well, my basement suite. I live in a basement suite. Now, I'm not leaving. Because after the first snow, I'm just going to flip this around so that I can line up my lid, my flap. After the first snow here, oh, I got to trim this one too a little bit. This one I can trim. Hang on 2 seconds. I'm just going to trim a little bit off. Okay, I'll just have to remiter this one. People don't know how to drive. We get snow every year. Okay, those of you who live in warmer climates, brace yourself. We get to -40 temperatures, not very often or for very long stretches of time, but we can sit for weeks or 2 weeks at a time at -32 to 35 degrees. So it's cold here where I live in northern Saskatchewan. Okay, now let's bring everything back. Okay, we got our front. Okay, so now we are going to work on, we are going to open up this, well, we're now H. Okay, we're going to open up H. Right here on E, we are going to put our stack pocket, which is pieces K1 and 2 pieces K2. Okay, this is what the tape will look like all on the dinted side. Okay, so this here, I can't remember whether I tell you to score or not. I didn't score all the way through because it confuses people and they put tape down here. We don't want tape. So I tried to just put little score lines here, but you draw a pencil mark through there if you like. Okay, draw a pencil mark, and it's at a 1/2 inch as well. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So for this one, it is our typical pocket. Okay, so let's get our garbage out of here. You're going to miter right through. Okay, miter right through, fold, burnish, and inspect. And I apologize if I start talking about something and then have to go back into the folio and then forget what I was talking about. I tend to do that quite frequently. So if there's something that you wanted to hear me finish, leave me a comment and tell me what it is, and I'll write it out. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut, okay, the top of that score just so that it goes into the intersecting score line there. Okay, and then on an angle, we're going to cut up to that. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Okay, same thing on the other side. Cut through that score line to the intersecting score line, and then on an angle, it doesn't have to be much of one because it's going to tuck inside. Cut up to where it's cut off, just like that. Just like that. Okay. Took the wrong one there. It's backwards, but you get my drift. Okay, so that's what happens. Okay, just like that. Okay, so do the same thing to the other piece. Okay, cut that right to this intersecting score line, and then cut it off on an angle. It's kind of like tapering. Okay, cut through that, and then off on an angle. Okay, whoops. Okay, and then your first pocket, okay, is gonna go down, and you're gonna go, you want to have a little bit of space here. Okay, so actually let's center. You're gonna have a little space on either side. Okay, so same thing, and we're gonna do the same thing we normally do. We're gonna peel off the bottom. I don't have this the right way. So you're going to see my head a little bit here. I'm sorry. Okay, line that up again. Okay, peel off your bottom piece. Try not to move it. Oh, I didn't. Oh, yay me. Okay, open that up, give it a burnish. This isn't maybe as big a deal, but I'm going to put tape down too. Okay, tape. Just like that. Okay, and then you can stick down the other two edges. And like I say, with these little short pockets, you kind of want to work it out from the center, because you will have, peel your tape and then push it out. You will have some bulging, which isn't a big deal because you're going to put your inserts in there anyway. So having a little bit of a bulge isn't a big deal. Okay, now you're going to take one of your K2 pieces, fold that over, burnish. Okay, fold that over, and now you see that little tapered flap, that's going to fit inside. Okay, if this is your first project. If it's not your first project, you know what we're doing, because I do these just about in all of my projects. But I always like to dry fit. Okay, everything fits. Okay, so we can just peel our tape off of this one without having to have it in there. Okay, peel your tape, and then stick that back in there, just like so. Okay, and stick it down and give it a burnish. Okay, and then same thing with the other K2. Fold, burnish. Again, I'm dry fitting, because if by chance you do have to make any adjustments, now would be the time. No adjustments needed. Peel your tape backing. And right back in. Okay. Just like so. Burnish. Ta-da. Okay. So now this is going to go in like this over top. So you have more flips and flaps. Makes it look more like an album. Okay, now we have all of our L pieces. We're almost done. The folio part. Okay, so you're going to open up, okay, your front. In the front, you're going to open up where it's got J and I. Just open that like so. Let me just consult. Yep. Okay, open it up so you're on E. Okay, and then you've got all your, and I changed these, I shortened them so they are just photo mats. I'm gonna flip it upside down. Okay, so this is still the front, but this is the top here. These are just photo mats. I changed it. Okay, see how you have some decorative here? I changed that because it is a pain in the arse, right? So you have it on the top and the bottom. So I made it just a photo mat, but I added 2 more. So there's 4 more photos that'll go in here. Because these are for our pretty pictures and our memories, right? So I'm just going to fold and burnish all of these. And the other thing that I am not going to do is I am not going to taper, there it is. I am not going to taper these edges, because if you have your white gel pen, you can actually journal up there in that 1/2-inch gusset. It doesn't have to, like, you don't have to journal much, like you just a title of the photo or who's in the photo or, you know, whatever, but it's a nice little journal spot. So I'm not going to cut that off. I am going to just leave it alone. So in the original, there is only 4. This one has 6. Okay. 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5, 6. Okay. So like I said, okay, this is the top, not the bottom, but I'm going to use this, and I'm going to kind of center it in the middle. Okay. There's not a lot of space there. These are slightly smaller than 4 by 6, or 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. They are 4 1/4 by 6 1/8, just so that it fits in here nicely and it doesn't catch. Okay, so all you're gonna do is you're gonna line the next one up right below that 1/2-inch binding tab there, whatever you want to call that. Okay, you just keep lining it up, open it up, and burnish. Okay, go all the way down. Now, I did change this, so that pocket that we're going to put on the bottom, hopefully it still works. I didn't change the measurements of it. We'll find out if we need to, but hopefully it still works. And that's just what I used. You stick a photo mat in there, and that keeps all of these flaps down, rather than something else in here. I think we should be okay. 3 more to go, and then we are going to move on to the insert that goes in the center pocket. I'm going to try and be a little bit more organized with my videos. Yes, I giggled. Because as organized as I love to be, I get so excited when I'm making these. I don't plan. That's why I can't do a live, oh, this one's crooked. That's why I can't do a live video. Because I don't plan anything. I just kind of throw it together and hope for the best. This one's a little crooked, so I have to adjust so that they're not sticking. And that's why I have usually more than one copy of any folio, is because I make it and then I decorate it so you can see it and like it and enjoy it and want to make one for yourself. So I then have to make another one to do the tutorial. So I usually end up having 2 of most all of my projects, which I'm okay with, because I know this is also going to sound funny, but I'm not a scrapbooker. I only have 1 project that I have any pictures in at all whatsoever so far. I make them because I love to make them, and then I either sell them or I give them away, or I just keep them here, but I do have a few for sale in my Etsy shop. Okay, so now the last pocket. Okay, the same thing with your pocket. You're gonna miter through that intersecting score line, like so. So in order to get to my Etsy shop, there is a link. I have a link usually in all of my videos, but it's B-E-E HappiCraftin, all one word, .etsy.com. Oh, you're gonna have to trim that one a smidgen. So once you see, which, I mean, it's not a big deal here, even if I don't change the measurements. Okay, lift those up, line that up. Again, you're going to put that in the center. Okay, don't do nothing. Put that down, put a pencil mark. Go to your trim. So you're going to want to trim off, looks like about 1/4 of an inch. Yeah. So this piece is going to measure 2 1/4 instead of 2 1/2 in order to fit those extra pieces in. So I'm just going to be right back and trim this off a little bit. I'm just trying to line that up so that it is straight here. Take off that 1/4 of an inch. Okay, gonna do another dry fit and make sure, as long as those, yep, perfect. As long as you got some space in there. Okay, I'm gonna put that to the center. And I don't think here we have to do the tape because it's such a small pocket. It's not really gonna much matter. You still can if you want. Shoot, I tore it. So you gotta be careful with your tape because it will peel apart. As you can see, mine peeled. Okay, and this is just, you don't even have to put this pocket in here. You can use decorative paper and make it a tuck spot. Doesn't matter. So you can eliminate this pocket and just use pretty paper and make it a tuck spot rather than a pocket. But I have a pocket. Okay, so that is it for the actual folio. Okay, any of the construction. Now we're going to work here on this. Okay, we're going to do the insert for that. Okay, so set this aside. Okay. So now we're going to bring in our insert pieces, which is N, O, 2P, 2Q, and 2R. Okay, so your R pieces, simple, fold. These are just simple photo mats. Fold, burnish, set them aside. Okay, fold, burnish, set them aside. Okay, your 2 P and Q we're going to set aside for a second. O, okay, we're fold and burnish. Okay, we're going to taper. Okay, and you can also use this folio or this insert in other folios. You just have to be careful, right, when you're making it. Maybe you only need it to be one-sided. So instead of doing it 2 ways, you would just do it 1. Okay, so you see you have a long side and a short side. Your short, okay, your shorter side, we're going to round those corners. Okay, this is what is inserted into your page. Okay, so now this piece, okay, you're gonna leave on top. Okay, now we've got this piece. Okay, we're gonna flip it. So you have your score line here on the left-hand side, your tape on the left-hand side, and you're going to, did I taper? Yes, I did. Okay, and you're just going to line that up. Okay, right as close to the edge as you can. Okay, and stick that down. Okay, just like that. Okay, so that gives you this. Okay, just like that. Okay, so now this is where that's going to go this way, right? Because it's going to slide in this way. Okay, so this, you have your folds on the right hand side. Okay, so what we can do is we can stick, but I want to, we'll see. We'll wait. Okay, we'll wait. Okay, so we're going to set these 2 pieces aside, and we're going to bring in our Q and P. Okay, Q and P. These are our other window sheets. So P we can fold and burnish. Okay. Fold, whoops, and burnish. Okay. Q, we're going to flip over so that we are on our dented side. Okay, and this is where we are going to draw our lines. Okay, to do our window. So I only have 1/2 inch, but I think I'm going to give it 3/4 inch. So it'll be a little bit less of a window. If I do 3/4, yeah, it's not gonna, so we're gonna stick to the 1/2 inch. You guys okay with just a 1/2 inch frame, doing your pattern paper in just a 1/2 inch? See, this is what it'll look like. Okay, so this having a 1/2 inch. If we do it at 3/4 inch, it's probably, I guess that's not that much more. You get most of what's important. So we'll do 3/4 inch. Okay, you convinced me. We'll do 3/4 inch. So on your scored edges, you are going to want to be at 1.25 inches. Okay, 1.25 inches. That gives you, because once you fold over your score lines, that still gives you 3/4 inch. Whoops. So it's not going to be a huge window, but you could do the same thing on this one, and you could make it a photo flap. Okay, on your scored, like where there's no score line here, you only want to do the 3/4 inch. Okay. And now if we measure this, it's only 3, so you would have to trim down. It's only 3 inches by 5 inches. So you would have to trim down a 4x6 to put it on there. So I think we'll just cut it right out. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing to the other one. Flip it over so you're on your dented side. Okay, draw your, on your edges that have the score lines at 1.25 inches. Okay, 1.25 inches. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, 1.25 inches. I love the Ranger Tim Holtz ruler. I used to use these ones, sewing rulers, which I also like. But this one, the Tim Holtz ruler, it has the center, find your center, and it's another 1/2 inch, whoopsie, another 1/2 inch wider. Totally worth it. Plus it's got your metal edge, right? Whoopsie. It's got your metal edge here for crafters who cut. Like I'm going to use my craft knife here. I normally would use my craft knife here, but I think for speed, we're going to use the trimmer. Because I'm sure this video is already getting rather lengthy. Okay, so I'm going to line it up at 1 1/4 inch. And again, because we have those pencil marks, we don't actually have to measure with our lines here. You just have to be careful. Sorry about my fat head. Okay, again, 1 1/4, or line up those pencil marks. Okay, but only cut to the pencil mark. Don't cut past. Okay, same thing here. To the pencil mark. Okay, and lastly, now you're going to line it up at 3/4. And you can either cut or score. It's up to you. I'm going to cut so that I have it cut right out. Okay, wide open. Okay, do your second one. Okay, so you can start on your scored edges. So you line it up at 1 1/4. Okay, cut from pencil line to pencil line. Okay, go all the way around like so. Oops, that one I went a little too far. Oh, I was lucky. Okay, last cut. Okay, again, you can cut or score here. I am going to cut. Entirely up to you. Just like with any kind of pocket, you can put acetate anywhere in your projects. Oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. What happened? What happened? Good thing I'm cutting that off. Okay, so now we are going to bring in our acetate. And you could put a dimple in here, but instead I'm going to make a photo mat that looks like this. I like these little tabs. Okay, so you're going to bring in, and you're just going to make sure that you go around your, I used 1/4 inch tape so that I had enough space here. Around the edges. And again, you can still tuck in here if you want. Use it as a little bit of a tuck spot for tucking pieces, whether it's a sticker that you liked or something that you just want to tuck in there, or a little photo that you want to highlight. Okay, same thing to the other one. I get quiet when I'm thinking. My apologies. Does everybody else get quiet when they get crafting? Do you guys craft with friends? I don't have the space right now to craft with friends, but however, in another town just close to me, only 20 minutes away, I have a friend who works at a craft store, kind of, sorta. It's a I don't know what you kind of call it, but there's craft supplies in there. Anyway, we are going to, I'm teaching a class. And I'm actually teaching the class on my birthday. Hence the, well, it's not hence the birthday challenge, but that's why we have the birthday challenge, because November is my birthday month. So what better way to celebrate your birthday when you don't want to party is give things away. I know I'm supposed to be receiving them, but I like sharing my projects. So there, okay, do the same thing. Okay, you're gonna fold, burnish, find your burnishing tool, and inspect. Okay. Now you have a little window to highlight your picture. It is just, you know, it'll hold a 4x6. It'll hold a photo mat, like you'll be able to fit the 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 photo mat in here, but it shows your 4x6 photo there, so you get a little window. Okay. So now we are going to flip. Okay, so you have you're going to flip that so that your what do you call this, flap is on the right hand side. Okay, so we're going to stick this, and you want this over. Hokey Dinah, did I do something wrong here? I did not, but I'm not sure why. That's not a big deal. We can just rescore that and stick that down. It will be fixed in your cutting guide. Okay. So again, we're going to take that bottom piece off and put some tape on there. Although we probably don't have to with this one, because you're going to want to put, or we can leave it and have a little extra. We'll see what it looks like. Okay, put a little bit of tape in there. Your pattern paper is going to have to go in here, so you really don't have to put the tape on there, but we will anyways. Okay. If you got any lint in here, try and wipe it out of there. Okay, fold that down, and then you can stick the rest of it down. Now what you can do, if you want to, I might leave that. We'll see. Probably not. Let me just see here. Let's have a look. So let's see what I messed up. I definitely messed up. I'm not sure how I messed up that bad. So all you do is open that up, take your scoring tool and just go along that edge, just like so, and then it'll just fold over, just like so. What you could do is no, that's too much of a gusset. We're just going to cut that right off. So unfortunately, I wasted a little bit of tape. So we're just going to cut that right off. It's going to get hidden. You can cut it off with your trimmer, or you can cut it off with the scissors. It's going to get hidden by your decorative paper anyway, so it's not a big deal. But maybe for the next one. Okay, just like so. Then you will put your tape back on there. And with this one, you don't have to taper because it is going to go right edge to edge. So that's not a big deal. Burnish that on there. So this will be right in the cutting guide, so actually you guys won't even need to do that. So let's put this one together. Okay, so like I said, this goes this way because this is going to go into your folio. Okay, so you're going to open up your folio. Okay, here's your page. Stick that in there. Okay, just like so. Okay, so now you can put these wherever you like. Okay, so your first one, your R, if you want to have it up here like this, and this one down here like so, you do that. Whereas I have in my other one the other way, so I think I might do it this way. Okay, so I'm just going to stick that down right where it is. Okay, just like so. Give that a burnish as soon as you find your burnishing tool. Okay, so you make sure that you have your top of your pocket. That's why, and then the other way is going to be flipped, right? So it's going to go this way. So this one now, okay, I'm going to put it towards the bottom, but I'm going to line it up. Now, if you can't see, I thought I had just a little piece of white paper here. Yeah, I do. Take a white piece of paper and just tuck that in there. And then you can see the edge of your page. Okay, so just like that. I think I'll bring that up a little bit more, maybe so that there's a half an inch at the top, half an inch at the bottom. Line that up. Peel your tape backing. Okay, so there's the first one. Okay, give that a burnish. Okay, see, this will be covered up with your pattern paper, so not a big deal. Okay, so we're going to flip that over. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing. Okay, you're going to put your R. We have it at the top, right? Okay, so you're going to put your R about a half an inch from the top, just like so. Peel your tape. Okay, give that a burnish. We are seconds away from being done, people. How did I do? Okay, so now this one, okay, so this one is going to have to go here, right? Okay, so you're going to put your pocket, so you want your flap on the left. Okay, your pocket is going to go on the right, right up against the cut edge. Okay, line that up right at the cut edge. Okay, we're going to peel the bottom. I'm so glad you guys can't see me when I'm peeling my tape, all of my funny faces that I make. Find your tape. This is horrible, cheap tape. Okay, put your tape on there. Burnish that down. Okay, fold it over. But, however, this is a free tutorial, and this will be posted on YouTube, but the cutting guide is only going to be available in the tutorial group on Facebook for this one, for version number 2. Okay, again, take, okay, score. Okay, and then fold. Okay, and then burnish. Then I am going to go over and I'm going to trim that tape off. You will be able, there will be a link at in the bottom off to the right, whatever, of this video, with a link to the Facebook group. If not, if by chance I forget or it doesn't work, the group is either Be Happily, I think it's, I'm going to have to look at it. I forgot, where did my, there it is. I'll put the name of the group, and I can never remember because I have a couple of them. Okay, oh no, I did it wrong. Oh no, I didn't. Thank goodness. See, I overthink all the time. Okay, you're gonna line that up about a half an inch up from the bottom. Okay, line up your edges. Stick it down. Hopefully. It didn't move. And we are done. Let me know how I did. I love to see the comments. And now I get to start decorating this one. Thanks for watching, everyone.